Hi, Tara. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Well, I'm so excited. I want to introduce you to the public, our viewing audience. Everyone, this is Tara Newton. She is team leader for the Lubbock Keller Williams. She also is a leader of leaders in the West Texas market, so Midland, Odessa, Amarillo, Canyon. And Tara, you've been with Keller Williams now for 13 years, is that correct?
13 years, that's crazy.
Awesome.
So crazy.
Well, I am so excited today to sit down with you and gain some of your industry expertise and really help our viewing audience understand what's going on in the real estate market.
Awesome, I'd love to help.
Great. So we're going to get started. You know, this coronavirus pandemic has really created a lot of uncertainty in both the housing and financial markets. Would you agree?
I would totally agree, yeah.
Yeah, so could you tell me from your perspective, since from March until present, what impact has the pandemic had on home buying and selling?
Yeah, it's a really great question and one that we're getting a lot. And truthfully, I think that like most Americans, we kind of had this a little bit of a shock and didn't know what to expect or to do. And so we saw a significant decrease in the number of houses that were selling, mainly in April and May. So in April and May, the Lubbock market experienced about a 20% decline in the number of houses that were selling. And that was during the lockdown period. It definitely made some challenges with getting into homes and going and showing them. But the really great thing has been that June, July, and August have actually been some record-breaking months, not only for our office, but also in the Lubbock Association of Realtors, that we have seen increases in the number of homes sold, that actually for the year, at the end of August, we are just right on par for how many homes that we sold last year. And so we've really recovered pretty fast. I think that we kind of had a freak out moment, kind of saw, oh my goodness, pandemic is affecting the real estate market. And then truthfully, I think that people being home, it really was an opportunity for them to realize that they wanted a bigger home, or they got back to working and felt confident again, interest rates being low. So we have seen really record-breaking months that make us really confident in the real estate market right now. I think the biggest thing that has changed, though, is that we do have a 25% less inventory right now than we did last August. And so even though we're on par for the number of homes selling, we're actually seeing a significant amount of people putting their houses on the market is significantly declined. And so the real estate market is ran by supply and demand. So with supply being so low and the demand still being really high, it is creating this interesting market where sellers are getting multiple offers on their house. The house is moving very quickly. And so it really creates a great opportunity to possibly move up, move out, but sell real estate. It's a great opportunity to capitalize on the home prices in the great market.
Okay, that's awesome. So just a few things I want to ask.
Yes.
Pandemic aside, what is the typical cycle for real estate? So we know that we have been on an uphill climb, right? And obviously the pandemic caused some pause and concern. But where is that in alignment with the natural downturn?
Yeah, it's a great question. So real estate definitely has cycles, and typically we kind of see this cycle kind of occur about every 10 years. And so there's kind of a snapshot of you will have a increase in the number of homes that sell, home prices every 10 years, and then all of a sudden it will start taking this downturn. And so the last one was in 2007, kind of ended in 2008. And so we've been really looming over that 10-year mark, but haven't really hit it as far as a downturn in the market. And so, we've been listening to economists, and they're just saying, we're in between, as you kind of look at a bell curve, we're in between this point and this point, and we don't actually know where we are inside of that bell curve. And you really never know that you've hit the bottom or that you were at the top until you've hit the bottom. And so we're somewhere in there. But yeah, we were talking about it earlier. I mean, the truth is, my advice to people is if you were thinking about selling your home in the next 2 years, this is actually an incredible time to sell your home. And the reason is, again, you don't know where you're at in that bell curve, but we do know it's a super strong market right now. We can't keep being a strong market. We're going to have to correct a little bit. And again, when that happens, we won't really know until we hit the bottom, which is never the best time to sell.
Absolutely. And I love talking about supply and demand. Right now, with the supply being so low, lower than it's ever been. I believe you mentioned a month and a half worth of inventory?
Yes. So
okay.
We call it month supply of inventory, and right now we're at 1.5 months, and that would mean that if at the rate that homes are selling right now in the market, with what we have in the market, which is about 690 homes in Lubbock County are on the market, at the rate that they're selling right now, if we were to have no other houses put on the market, it would take 1.5 months for us to be completely gone with all of the inventory. And typically, if you're under 3 months, you're in a great seller's market. And so we have never actually seen the inventory this low. We track historical data for 10 years, and in the past 10 years, we've never seen this few of homes on the market in Lubbock.
So for a seller, this is great news.
It's incredible.
We can't reiterate that enough. It's a great time to sell. Maybe for buyers, not so much, except for the fact that interest rates are pretty low.
Yes, which is another great point of interest rates being low is actually good for the sellers too, because it does create buying power for the buyers, right? Mm-hmm. And so it is a huge swing. I mean, with interest rates, I remember just in January, I refinanced my house for 3.6%. And now I'm already like, I need to refinance again because that same mortgage loan is now going for about 2.25%, right? So, man, what an incredible power that lowering the interest rates has, and helping buyers being able to purchase, but also helping sellers maintain their selling price.
Yeah. So with so much uncertainty with the coronavirus pandemic, this is actually great news. This can provide people who are interested in selling their home, or maybe who were afraid to sell their home because of the pandemic. This just can provide peace of mind.
Yes, for sure. And the other thing that we've learned a lot about is technology is incredible, and there's other ways for us to show homes, and then we want to make for sure that we're never putting a seller in danger or in an uncomfortable situation where we can take a lot of protective measures to make for sure that they're safe inside of their home.
That's awesome. Well, I certainly do appreciate you all being an allied partner and resource for me. I know that those watching are going to be very grateful to hear your insights. Are there any parting words of wisdom that you'd like to share with the viewing audience?
Man, I just think that it's an interesting time, and it's always helpful to have a professional in your corner that can talk through these important decisions that you could be making in the future. And so, hiring someone that knows the market and really has a heart to serve. And so, man, I love our office and the agents that I get to work with. They truly have that part with them. So.
Awesome. Well, I certainly do appreciate your time today. Thank you. We appreciate Keller Williams. We appreciate your support of the community. I know that Caroline has a heart for the community as well, and it's just great to be your partner.
Thank you, Cricket.
Thanks so much.